because I think it's underutilized. It's the phone. It's our superpower. It's underrated. I think we've gravitated way too much into just messaging people instead of actually picking up the phone and dialing and having a human to human conversation, especially with the rise in AI, robobots, and also just video as well, which I think video is super powerful. But the phone is underrated, um, especially if you're giving the right coaching and practicing constantly. It can be a superpower for you. And another reason why I say that is because I like to look at the phone as a contact sport and practicing that sport is growing up. I grew up playing multiple sports. If I didn't put time into practice, I knew that it wouldn't yield me any results or I wouldn't score any baskets or anything whatsoever. So I know that if you put the time in for role plays, coaching sessions, listening to calls, the phone is super powerful. A big piece of that is just being able to handle objections. The pitch will be consistent, but being able to handle objections and answer their problems confidently, that's a superpower for an SDR. Yeah, typically we're around 9 to 12. Um, we have almost a 50% pickup rate with the phones. Another reason why the phone is so important for us. But we like to do 3 to 4 emails, personalized at scale that focus on different pieces of cold prospecting that we're going after. But we also like to do phone calls for those other touch points. We haven't got into video yet just because our customer base doesn't live as much in email, but we still like to send emails. People do respond to them. And we're about a little, just about industry average or a little bit above with a 6%, 7% reply rate right now. Yeah. And I think a big thing with the emails is don't overcomplicate it. Keep them simplistic to a point of if you were to pick up your phone or fire up your laptop, you would be able to read this within 5 to 10 seconds and very quickly, and it drives value home. Um, I, as well as yourself, probably get a ton of emails from SDRs, and I read all of them. And a big thing is they overcomplicate it with the amount of information that they're putting in there. Keep it simplistic. Drive home the reason that you're reaching out to me. Let me know that you've done a little bit of personalization with doing some research on me as well, and that will typically yield a response. We use HubSpot through Dialpad. So we use Dialpad for phone calls with that, but we also invested in Orem last year, which is a power dialer. And that was a monster catalyst for us. With our ICP being pretty similar as far as our outreach, we wanted to increase our velocity for how much touch points that we were reaching out to on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And that was super helpful for us to gain more traction with the cold prospects that we have that we've partnered with Lead Genius. So there wasn't a buildup. We can put them into the power dialer and really let it go and start booking much more meetings. We were averaging around 1 to 2 meetings per rep last year booked in the beginning of the year. We're around 3 to 4 at this point per day, SDRs booking meetings. So it has really been super helpful for us. I think there's a time and place for a dialer. For example, the last company I worked for was more enterprise focused, and I don't think a dialer was super helpful for us since our prospects that we're reaching out to could be in marketing, and then one could be in social, then one could be in PR. It was very tough to get traction if you were to put that in a power dialer and continue making phone calls. Whereas here, it's much easier for us to do that. So if you have the ability to invest in a power dialer and you see a fit, I highly recommend doing it. Orem has been a great partner for us as well with just making changes and rolling out new features. Can't recommend them more.
Whoops.
We're not. So Lead Genius is what we use for that, but we also use just research, getting our hands dirty, going on Google Maps, and searching general auto repair shops in the area. I think that is underrated, not just for our market, but other markets too. Um, Chat GPT is also another superpower for us at this point, like a lot of SDR teams. I think there are people that are bullish on it, and then there are people that don't recommend using it for kind of their own reasons. I am a huge advocate of it, and you can go in there and find information as far as asking for phone numbers and company names and zip codes. It will pull that information. So you can gain a lot of insight from using it, not just for personalizing emails or trying to find information on a company, but actual details on contacts.